This is a Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie breaking news alert. This is a Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie breaking news alert. This is a Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie breaking news alert.
All right, everyone. It is breaking news. I think that it is no stretch to say that we are in the very beginning stages of the United States attack on the country of Iran. We're monitoring numerous news sources as we speak. We'll be here as long as we need to be here. Ronnie.
Absolutely. We are going nowhere.
What's going
on,
bro?
Sitting here right now. Well, I'm sitting right here, and I am just in shock and awe of all the viewers that we have on X right now. Thank you so very much for being here. This is amazing. Right now, I'm going to switch over to Flight Tracker so we can track what is going on. This is current Flight Tracker radar. If we can get it pulled up here. All right, as you can see, this is the country of Iran. There were three. One just disappeared. This is Istanbul to Tehran, but there's nothing going on. So this is all flights, military, and as you can see, there's no planes in the air except for this guy, and I'm guessing he didn't get issued the warning. But we can switch over here to Agenda Free TV. He has just gone live. Just I don't know, about 10, 20 minutes before we did. This is courtesy of Agenda Free TV and Steve Lookner. Heck of a guy. Where did it go? My apologies. Here we go. Here's right now, not a whole lot is going on.
Yeah, I think we saw the beginnings of planes leaving the UAE area. I think and I'm watching as we speak. You're watching Tousi, Tousi TV up. He is an Iranian that is based in Great Britain, and I think all three of the sites, Agenda Free, Tousi, and ourselves, are all, showing the flight trackers. There is
right.
there is no doubt in the world that something is going down and going down quickly. We want to welcome you if you've never been here with us before. This is a special edition. We would have been on in an hour, 7 o'clock Eastern on Friday or on Wednesdays is one of our regularly scheduled times to be on and with a live stream. However, with everything that's breaking loose, we decided that we would go early tonight. We didn't want to just barge in after the fact. We wanted to be here. We wanted to start out with you folks. Hopefully you can stay, or if you have to go and come back. I have a feeling, Ronnie, it's too bad your mom's not here to put some coffee on, because we may be needing
right.
We may be needing a pick-me-up.
I got my bottle of water. I got my vape. Everything's on the charger. I'm good to go for the moment. While everything is going, here's some news on the troops evacuating from over there in certain areas.
Hundreds of troops are evacuating from a U.S. airbase in Qatar. According to a U.S. official and a person familiar with the matter, this move is precautionary after President Trump warned the U.S. could take military action in Iran for its deadly crackdown on anti-government protesters. The service members will be moved to other military bases and hotels in the region to take them out of harm's way if an operation triggers a response from Iran.
There you have it. Pulling troops out of certain bases and getting them out of harm's way. That's definitely needed. Here is Donald Trump today on his thoughts on Iran, which kind of sparked a little bit of a controversy and upset a lot of people.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopped, and it's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset. But that's just gotten to me, some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution. We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopped, and it's stopping. And
don't know why that restarted, but what are your thoughts on that right there? I know that sparked a lot of controversy. What are you thinking? Oh, you're muted. You are muted. Craziness, electronic craziness around here. Now I got you now. What are you thinking about what President Donald J. Trump said?
Well, you and I and Trevor, and I want to give Trevor a shout out right here from the very beginning, because he has helped us. Well, over the years, people have no clue how much he's helped us. And in the last little bit, how much he's helped us. But I want to give him a shout out tonight. He got things, he runs his own site, his entertainment site, and he got things done early so he could be available to help rock with us tonight here on this topic. So I wanted to give him a shout out. And he has been saying for a couple of days that he believes that Trump has been floating some things that, weren't just, wasn't just, how do I want it? He was kind of deflecting. Mary asked, what would that remark cause controversy? Well, in that discussion there, Trump was making it sound like, well, maybe we don't need to go, or they're backing down a little bit. They're not killing people. They're not going to do the mass executions. And so some of the responses online that we saw were, basically, you said help is on the way. Don't let us down now.
You promised.
Yeah,
absolutely. You promised. Where are you? That kind of thing.
And so that's why it was somewhat controversial. But Trevor, in his remarks, a deflection. He can't stand up with a billboard saying, "Here we come, Iran."
Right.
And he's made several comments recently and throughout his 5 years as president. He's coming up on his 5th anniversary, so to speak, being president of the United States, not consecutively. But you've heard him say many times, I'm not going to discuss that with the press. And I didn't know how much he kind of like tries to buy some time a little bit is what it might be best looked at. And I just didn't know how much time he was trying to buy. So what do you got there?
He was pulled up something. I just kind of wanted to hear what he had to say.
I have to show you the poll results. Wait a second.
He just
I
did
got
a
to
live
get the poll
poll.
results on the screen. Completely
Love this
forgot.
guy. Steve Lookner is the best.
so-
I love this guy.
On Twitch, the vote was on Twitch. Will the U.S. attack Iran tonight? Twitch, 64% said no on Twitch.
Huh?
36% said yes. Oops, now I just messed that up.
These voters, I'm
So
sure, don't
it
have
disappeared.
degrees or
So
not
on
paying
Twitch,
attention.
it was 64% no on Twitch. How about YouTube? What did YouTube say? I got to admit, this is less. I thought that people would say, that more people would say yes. On YouTube, it's only 52% yes. Look at this on YouTube. I thought it was going to be higher on both. So 52% said yes.
Well, that's pretty cool how you can do a poll. You know, we don't really have that ability, but why don't we do a poll in the comments? Why don't you guys throw in the comments a poll? What do you think the United States will attack Iran tonight? Yes or no? Let us know what you think. Yeah, let us know what you think. Please, please, please.
And while we're at a place where we are going to do something tonight that has never been done. Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie is in the process. And thank you so much for what you've been doing, Ronnie, for getting our first sponsor. And it's happening as this is happening. And so we are looking at the possibility of having Sergeant D's Coffee Beans being our first sponsor. And what a night. This segment is brought to you by Sergeant D's Coffee Beans.
We could use
as
some.
Iran, as the United States is attacking Iran live on Red, White, and True.
Right.
Now, go out and do the right thing.
A night we could use some Sergeant D's.
That's
we
right.
could definitely use some Sergeant D's Coffee Beans. And my apologies that these pictures are not very good. These are some very, very awesome pictures. I will have better in the coming time. We just didn't have a whole lot of time to prep. Plus, we went live an hour early, so things will
and what people probably don't understand is they've got to be cropped with the exact cropping, or it doesn't fit, and all this technical stuff that's way above my pay grade. So if the sponsor is watching tonight,
it's not like we don't have other jobs.
And if the sponsor is watching, I promise our technology will be better when we've had more than like a 15-minute time frame to get it, get it available. We wanted to throw it out for a test drive, but we are a project in the making on that. So welcome to Sergeant D's Coffee Beans.
Welcome to the Red, White, and True family. We surely appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And of course, Steve Lookner had things pulled up. I pull him up, it goes away. So we're just bouncing back and forth here. We've got other news to cover too. So while we're all just kind of sitting around waiting, I've got the Russian buzzer, I've got the flight tracker, I've got Ukraine, I've got recent news, I've got Agenda Free, I got Duramax behind me, if you could probably see. So we've got everything going, and other things are happening. And so while we're kind of waiting around, how about we talk about this? Iran put an assassination attempt on President Trump, and they said this time they're not going to miss.
We are following some breaking news out of Iran after Iran threatens President Trump. Take a look at this social media post right now, sharing more details of this threat. This is from the New York Post, saying Iran issues a sickening assassination threat against Trump. Quote, this time it will not miss the target. And they also shared a photo of one of the assassination attempts against President Trump. All of this coming as protests continue to escalate in Iran. These are some file video of some of these protests in which reportedly hundreds, if not thousands of people have been killed.
Yeah, so the broadcast said this time the bullet won't miss, referring to previous failed assassination attempts against the U.S. leader. The message, which included an image from one of the unsuccessful murder plots against Trump in his July 2024 presidential campaign rally in Pennsylvania, we all remember that, is being interpreted as a direct threat to the U.S. and Trump. It comes amid escalating tensions between the nations after Trump threatened strikes against the Iranian regime, which we are currently following, including its nuclear facilities, while offering aid to anti-regime demonstrators amid rising violent protests, in which estimated 2,000 anti-government Iranian protesters have been killed. Can you imagine 2,000? 2,000, let's put that in perspective, 2,000 American protesters. But American protesters aren't protesting for better life. We covered this on Monday. They're protesting because Orange Man bad. At least one of the 26-year-old anti-government protester arrested is slated to be executed. Now, we just watched a video where Donald Trump said there's no more murders, no more executions. That upset a lot of people on X,
today was
all over the world. So,
Ronnie, today was a big day for that because there was at least one main execution that had been planned for a few days now. And the thought process and the story going behind that was that there would be a mass execution of people who, and the wording escapes me a little bit, but they've been charged with not treason or anything like that, but basically going against God. Crimes against God, I believe, is what they had said. So
ridiculous.
They
at least go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that's why Trump's comments were the way they were. That had been scheduled. That was on the agenda, at least the one, possibly dozens or hundreds. And then Trump says nothing. So that's why that was a big deal. That's why it got the reaction that it got. Let me just say, while you're doing things, when we're in the live event mode, not just our regular live streams that we do, this is kind of a live event, bombing Iran kind of works that way. There'll be times where there's some quiet on the screen. There'll be times when, as you see, Ronnie took off there for a second. He's up doing some things. So it's not business as usual. And it's interesting that he did that right as I was going to say that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be having to do during this live topic.
Well, my apologies.
So,
my toes were freezing. I had to turn the heat up just a little bit because I got to get comfy here because we're settling in for a little bit. But my apologies.
Not a problem at all.
Back to that story. At least 2 other U.S. citizens were arrested and charged in connection with Iranian plot for allegedly assisting with surveillance efforts. That's amazing. U.S. citizens. At the time, the then Attorney General Merrick Garland and then FBI Director Christopher Wray issued a statement warning the dangers Iran had posed in the country. We've covered this. Well, I take that back. You've covered this with Iranian sleeper cells. You've talked about it a few times. There are a few actors in the world that pose as a grave threat to the national security of the United States, as does Iran, Garland said. The Justice Department has changed an asset to the Iranian regime, who is tasked by the regime to direct a network of criminal associates to further Iran's assassination plots against its targets, including President Donald Trump. So we pray for the safety of President Donald Trump. We trust the plan. He's a chess master. He knows what's going on. He knows how to play the game. I mean, look at Venezuela. Look at that in and out Venezuela. That was phenomenal.
That's like old news now.
Yeah. That's old news. Everything that's happened so far since then. My goodness.
Yeah, we just went in and tumbled a dictator and went on about our business.
Right. Yeah. Just kind of showed up, kicked butt, took off.
Yeah. Used weapons that nobody's seen used before. freaked people out. You know, got people warning the whole world, don't FAFO, because the FO is really really bad.
Yeah, the FO had our enemies bleeding from the mouth and the nose, apparently. Felt like their heads were going to explode. Iran, do you really want to FA? Because you're sure as heck going to FO. Here's back to the flight
Well,
tracker. As well as you can see, there's just a few planes here in the air. That is, my goodness, I can't even pronounce it, to terrain. And that is Bangkok to terrain. Those boys better get out of the air, most Ricky Tick. They're going to come face to face with a U.S. fighter plane. They're going to come into, let me see if I can do this. They're going to come into contact with this. My question to Iran is, do you guys really want to mess with that? Because I sure don't. My goodness. I've got plenty of Air Force videos just showing amazing things they can do. We've got a comment here. I sure hope the Venezuelans can get their country functioning soon. Those people were literally eating their pets to survive, and it may take a while for normal to return. Absolutely. Could not agree more. My thoughts and prayers are with the Venezuelan people. I hope everything changes. And I really hope with Donald Trump being in charge, basically, essentially, of Venezuela, that will happen most Ricky Dick. Those people deserve it. Eating their pets. Can you imagine? Spunky. He's
good to see Susan in here. She used to be NJ GOP, NJ Susan, but she's not an NJ person anymore. She moved, and it's always good to see her pop in and brings back old memories of back in the day of commenting on GOP.com before, get this, before the 2008 presidential election. So welcome, Susan.
Wow. Back in the olden times, huh?
Well, and here's a comment. Go ahead and throw that up there, Ronnie. I ain't where I can right now. My nickname back then was CP, as in Cyber Pastor. And living in New Jersey, she didn't pump her own gas. So she was always asking me and this friend of ours who has passed away, James Blowers, who went by the Conservative Trucker, questions about pumping gas. So there's where those comments come from.
I can't imagine. All right. Go away. So here we have Agenda Free TV. It's really hard for me to read even on my big screen. HRANA. Aggregated statistics up to the end of day 18. Not really sure exactly what that is. We can, well, he just took rid of it. So we can listen in a little bit.
But that's just one estimate. There's others that are greater. The Institute for the Study of War posted last night that they believe the Iranian regime is using an unprecedented level of brutality to suppress protests. The actual death toll is likely significantly higher relative to the 1,500 people killed during the 2019 protests, though we cannot independently determine the number of protester deaths. Western media outlets have reported death toll estimates ranging from 2 to 20,000.
2 to 20,000.
Information is consistent with regime killing thousands in its crackdown. I'm going to post links to those two reports. I'm posting a link to the Institute for the Study of War report right now, and I will post a link to the HRANA report as well in the chat. So again, regardless of whether killings stop now, there's much reporting that suggests thousands of protesters have been killed already.
Wow.
Just to be clear.
And Ronnie, there's really no way for them to have an accurate way to count something like protesters. I mean, there's no way to know how many are there. I read a story that said that they were burying people on the side of the road, and so there's no way to keep track of numbers in that situation, and that's an unconfirmed report. I don't know how accurate that is. Certainly wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't true. So we're all three of us, you and Trevor and I, are all monitoring different things right now. And I want to give a hat tip to journalists that are doing the same thing we are. Tusi, I mean, this is his life. Tusi TV, it's popped up right there on it right now. It's his life, and it's to the point where he's not in his normal studio, because being an Iranian in Great Britain, his life is in danger right now. So his security is to the point where he has to be in a secret location. I heard him say just a little bit, and I'm trying to read. You can see I'm in a different angle tonight so that I can see the TV in front of me instead of having it behind me. So I've been reading what he has been saying, and point I was trying to go to with this is, what we're trying to do is bring the news in a way that people can understand it, that hopefully you feel like you can trust us. We're not out there trying to bring about hype. We want to bring the truth, red, white, and true with Ed and Ronnie. And we want to, well, we're sick of the mainstream media, I guess, Ronnie. Wouldn't you say that's pretty accurate? We're sick and tired of mainstream media.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to call it different things, you know, mainstream, legacy media, you know. It's the press. You know, you go back to freedom of the press. It's the press for us old fogies. And you can call them by any name you want, legacy media, whatever. We're actually just sick and tired of that. It's proven that people are going to different manners of getting their news, and we want to be there. And we throw hat tips out to all the others, especially the ones that we're watching. You've got Agenda Free, and his name is Steve Lookner, right?
Yes.
And again, Tusi TV. I spend a lot of time on TBN Israel, and you know, getting things from people that we trust. I want to share my screen here real quick and see.
So, real quick. My thing on the legacy media, it's disgusting. I hate it. It's biased. It's one-sided. I am so sick and tired of it. So, like we've talked before, people are getting their news from other places like us. It's just, we appreciate each and one of you. Bill and Tanya, sorry we're late. What took you so long? I am disappointed. Susan come back with a good point, Ed. We don't know the truth about the numbers of deaths. People, internet blackout. Absolutely, yeah. We don't know the truth because of that blackout.
And Agenda Free has a guest that they've been bringing on, that she She is
Yes.
an Iranian that lives in LA, and she was actually out there taking video when the U-Haul was running over people, and she's made several good points on Agenda Free TV about with the internet blackout, uh, cell phones and text weren't working. They briefly worked. Cell phone
Tanya, one
and
recap.
and so let me finish this sentence, and Ronnie will let you recap. Um, she has been making great
Go
points,
ahead.
and I'm looking at a video right in front of me. It's showing bodies lined up against a wall in body bags. And so, Ronnie, you go ahead and take it from there. Well, how about we add Ronnie back?
There is.
Now you're here. Well,
Now I'm here. My apologies. I've got. I'm trying to get that Iranian video that Trevor just sent us pulled up. I've got a lot of different things going on. My computer's lagging, so I will be right back, most tricky tick. Just give me a few seconds.
let me see if I can play this video that Ronnie was trying to get. Let me share my screen.
I've actually got it pulled
And
up
let
now.
me see if
what a
I've
great
got.
timing.
Oh, well, go ahead. I was going to hit play.
Hit play. Go right ahead. I'll go back to Agenda Free. No
No,
problem.
no, I just X'd off of it when you said yeah.
That is fine. Give me 1 second. I'll have it right back. It's right here. Share my screen.
اینو خری نورده پهلوی برمیگرده 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 این آخری نبرده پهلوی برمیگرده این آخری نبرده پهلوی برمیگرده
That was pretty cool.
Have no clue what they were saying other than I think they're ticked off.
The final battle has begun, and that's wow. Turn up the gain on my microphone. It is all the way up. 5 or 6 second delay. I've noticed that. It's been like that for a couple weeks now. I don't get it. We'll just roll with the punches for the moment and fix it later. Back to Bill and Tanya's question. Can you recap? Absolutely. So, briefly, just to kind of recover everything, it is very well possible that we are going to be attacking Iran tonight. I have flight radar pulled up, and there's only just 2 planes right now in the air over Iran. No TAM. I noticed the airman was issued, and that's a get out of the way. They did that right before they went into Venezuela.
Yep.
A carrier strike group has been moved from the South China Seas, so you know they're bringing firepower with them. No doubts there. Donald Trump. I'll just go ahead and play the video so I still have.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopped, and it's stopping. and there's no plan for executions or an execution or executions. So I've been told that a good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset, but that's just gotten to me, some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution.
So he stated that all the executions have stopped. It really kind of started a controversy. A lot of people online were upset. Where are you? You promised, like it says on our bottom thing here, will he do the right thing? But it seems like it could be deflection. We talked about that a lot. Just got multiple reports of Israeli jets heading towards Iran. Israeli jets. Wow. We're still tracking everything. Everything happens in DJT time, Donald John Trump time. So that's kind of what we're waiting on. Every press conference, every time he speaks, it's always Donald John Trump time, DJT time.
Exactly. And we were trying to do our regular prep for our show that's due to start here at 7:00. Trevor says it's 2 a.m. in Iran, and it's like, oh man, it's go time. It is go time.
Yeah. Things could be going on right now. We just don't know. And that's kind of what's cool about it. But trust the plan. That's what I keep trying to say, is trust the plan.
And we made mention in other discussions as well about how, every minute that goes by, there are people dying in Iran. So you can understand the people that are very against their government there, seeming panicked. Where are you at? While they said that, 5 people died. And so,
yeah, could you imagine? I mean, Donald Trump promised help; they're expecting it, and then nothing happens, and people are dying. So, we got a question here. Just heard on the news a few minutes ago. Donald Trump's push for control of Greenland. Yes, I have something on that. If I can get rid of it, there we go. And it's not good.
We have a pretty significant development at this hour. Germany, Norway, and Sweden are all sending troops to Greenland as we speak and in the coming days, following Donald Trump's threats to annex Greenland from Denmark. According to Reuters reporting, Germany will send its first soldiers to Greenland on Thursday, tomorrow, according to a government spokesperson. Sweden and Norway have also announced similar moves following demands from Donald Trump that Washington takes control of the island. Now, this is a major development because troops on Greenland from NATO allies would mean that if the United States were to try to intervene militarily, to try to take Greenland using military force, it would require the United States military to get into a battle of sorts with German troops, Swedish troops, troops from Norway. This is a major, major development. I will continue to provide you updates as we get more information throughout the day. So make sure to spread the word, subscribe to my Substack at the link in my bio to support. Follow along for more.
See, right there. I also heard UK troops, France, Germany, maybe Spain, Italy, definitely Denmark. I don't know what he wants there. I mean, it's got nothing there. They don't have roads. They don't have street lights. They don't have basic
there's
services.
like 50.
It's barren wasteland.
There's like 50,000 people total there.
Yeah,
and landmass the size it is. I think everybody's wrong on this one. I wish Trump would just negotiate this one out of the media, because this is Ed's opinion. He makes us look stupid on the topic of Greenland.
Definitely.
I understand.
Definitely.
I understand Greenland strategically, its geographical location is hugely important. When you see, throw it up on a map and you look, and it's for what's obviously Russia, but with the uh, alliance between Russia and China, there are uh, definite strategic geographical importance there. The whole thing, here's the one thing that could have been left out, and we wouldn't even be talking, we would have never played the video that you just played, because if he wouldn't have said everything is on the board, including uh, including military action, if he'd have left that out, then we wouldn't be talking about this. Europe knows that Trump is not going to try to take Greenland militarily. And if he did, they ain't going to stop him.
No.
So, we're going to start World War III amongst the allies? Come on, people. See, it's doing what we're doing right now. We're paying attention to breaking news, and all of a sudden we're distracted by Germany sending troops to Greenland.
What
So
is Germany's
you've
interest in
thrown back.
protecting Greenland? I understand, wanting to save NATO. I understand wanting to save NATO and all that, but I don't know.
Well, they think Trump is trying to dissolve NATO. He'd just say we're out and not send him another nickel.
Yeah, but talking to a friend of mine last night, and he made a good point. We're not going to pull out of NATO. NATO's not going to collapse around us because of all those countries suckling on America's teeth.
Absolutely.
They need that money that comes from America.
Well, let's address Susan's question here. So, would the current Islamic leaders just surrender? Question 1. To the new Shah. Part 2. It's also messy, like how would you trust the military to support a new regime? All way above my pay grade, and I trust Trump's team to be thinking 5 steps ahead. And all good points. I personally, it may happen here in 5 minutes. We may be breaking news that the supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution has boarded a plane to Russia. May hear that just shortly. But I really don't think surrender is what they're going to do.
It'll take bang bang or capture to end that. He's not just going to hand it over.
Now, he may run away and hide and say from a distance that he's still in charge. I think that's probably way more likely than him just surrendering. His generals around him. Who knows where? When it's your life that is on the line, you don't know. I mean, think about this. An Islamic republic that is known for being butchers and evil, just pure evil, we don't know how they'll react. If something were to happen in America and somebody was about to attack us, I think, well, we'd be surprised at how a lot of people would react, but we also realize that our Christian religion says that we're willing to give it all for our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. When we take our oath, when we join the military, we make an oath. And so I really believe that it's difficult for us to grasp how it is that their people, not their people on the streets, but their higher ups, their power people are going to react. When you think about it, they've not had to worry about this kind of thing. They get into it with somebody, us, they get into it with Israel, in the past, Iraq, and this is different. The people are rising up, and they've risen up before, but I've watched a lot of coverage on how this time is different. The people that are from Iran that are talking about how this is different than the one in 2022. This is different than the one back in 2018 or 2019. You know, there's support there, and a lot of people, and you know, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, a lot of people are saying that the confidence behind this movement is because Trump has said that we'll be there, we've got your back covered, and now we're on our way. So I think this is different. That's why I think we're on here an hour early. It's still not even showtime, Ronnie.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we still got stuff to cover too. I mean, as we're watching this, we just got a Senator Lindsey Graham with Crown Prince of Iran, Reza. Forgive me, I'm not going to even pronounce it right now. I believe help is on the way. So they've got hats with "Make America Great Again." That's pretty cool.
I think it's Reza Pahlavi, Pahlavi, Lavi.
Better than me, because I wasn't even going to slaughter. I wasn't even going to try and slaughter it.
And Susan made mention the new Shah, that is the son of the Shah of Iran, who was overthrown in '79 by the Islamic Republic leaders. An interesting thing on the video that you showed with the movement theme song, so to speak, the flag that was on that is the old Iran flag. It is not the Islamic Republic flag. Two totally different things. The old flag that was in place when they were overthrown is a lion, and there was no lion in the Islamic Republic flag. So lots of little things in this that are intriguing. But Ronnie, I want us to think for just a second I want us to think that more than likely there are thousands of U.S. military people involved in an operation right now, possibly thousands of Israeli military,
which is awesome.
And all of our, and while we were just, you know, irritated with, there's allies that are involved. See, that's what makes me so mad about that other story. We've got something important going on that allies depend on us, and we depend on our allies, and we're talking about fighting over Greenland. So
yeah, ridiculous.
So I want to take a minute and pray for all those that are in harm's way, and I especially want to pray for the innocent civilians there in Iran, because, you know, we enjoy doing what we do. We both have law enforcement, military backgrounds, and things like that. So this is what we do. But you know, those body bags that are over there, they're full of souls that are not coming back to this earth. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, I come to you just now thanking you for all that you do for us in this life, and all of the blessings that we have, all of the just all that goes on. We pray, Father, that that you would keep our troops safe, that you would keep the troops of our allies safe, that you would convict the troops of the Islamic Republic of Iran to put their arms down, to give up, to surrender. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray and against the demonic leadership in that country. But Father, right now, most of all, I pray for the innocent civilians that are being murdered, massacred, tortured, but standing up, believing that there is hope. And Father, we know from reports that the country of Iran has had more conversions to Christianity in the last several years than any country on the planet. Isn't that amazing? Christians rise up and something is being done. Father, thank you. Protect them. Keep them safe. Help them, Father, to do the right thing. In Jesus' name, amen.
My apologies. I was doing a little bit of tactical praying there while keeping an eye on everything. I was still with you. I just had eyes on everything else. I'm sorry.
Well, Ronnie, it's been a little bit. Why don't you introduce our sponsor?
Yes, absolutely. Let me get rid of old Steve Lookner here on Agenda Free, and we can kind of partially throw up. But yes, our sponsor, Sergeant D's Coffee Beans, a good friend of mine named Darren Ness. You can find him on Facebook, Sergeant D's Coffee Beans. Amazing stuff. The guy does great work. We really appreciate you being our first sponsor. Our first sponsor. Wow. Can you imagine? A little over a year ago, we sat up all night and jabbered like monkeys in a tree about the Donald Trump being elected president for 16 hours, whatever it was. Turns out to where we are right now. We are live covering an attack in Iran. We covered the attack in Venezuela. And we have a sponsor, Sergeant D's Coffee Beans. Check them out. We will, I'll have links and a little bit better descriptions later on. But Darren's a good friend. And welcome you to the Red, White, and True family. And just remind everyone to do the right thing. Still got news coming in. We still got everything going on still here stateside. This happened. I don't recall what state. I watched it earlier. We have been covering police officers or behind the badge, good stories of officers. And unfortunately, this one didn't go so well. I don't even have words for it. Yeah, so unfortunately, a police officer was shot. They pulled up. He was probably having lunch, talking to his wife, filling out paperwork. We don't know. And that officer was shot. I don't have any more information on it right now, but I will definitely get it ASAP, because that was, my heart goes out to that officer and his family. Wow.
Yes.
But we do have a
Thank you,
very nice
guys.
comment from Bill and Tanya.
We have actually been putting together a plan of action on how to take Red, White, and True to the next level, which also means that we have to have a way to fund taking this to the next level. Different things like we've used Agenda Free TV, that he has contracts with certain news agencies and things like that. He's able to legally do things. And here's the situation: when you're just a couple of Hoosier bumpkins sitting on Pearl Street in Columbus, Indiana, and you've got 50 followers, the people, as in news agencies and stuff, aren't going to get too terribly tore up. But I was watching Agenda Free yesterday, and I think he had 11,000 live. That's not all of
Yes.
the, he's got, well, I don't know how many followers he has between his social medias, but 11,000 of them were watching him at the same time. And so when you have numbers like that, then you have to make the agreements. The news agencies aren't going to want you to use their stuff for free at that point in time. And so we could stay the little, as I said, bumpkins on Pearl Street in Columbus, Indiana, or we can take it to the next level. And there wouldn't be anything wrong with staying where we are, but I think the Lord has called us to move into bigger and better things. And we're praying. And let me say that first of all. This has been prayed over for a long time. And so we are doing our best to do the right thing. And Ronnie, what's going on?
Well, nothing yet. We are getting news feeds coming in. If I can go back to it, I've only got 6,000 messages going on. Steve Lookner just posted a second news outlet. Al Arberia is also reporting that U.S. is deploying an aircraft carrier to the Middle East from the South China Seas. We reported that earlier. From Qatar, given ongoing regional tensions, the U.S. Embassy in Doha has advised its personnel to exercise increased caution and limit non-essential travel to El Eidad, oh my goodness, El Eidad, I believe is what it is, airbase. We recommend U.S. citizens in Qatar do the same. The U.S. mission to Qatar continues to monitor the situation. Polymarket breaking. Pentagon orders USS Abraham Lincoln and its carrier strike group of destroyers to head from the South China Seas towards Iran. Don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to take them a little bit. But they're bringing an ass kicking with them. So go get them, boys.
Well, here's another point, Ronnie, to bring up. Tensions in Taiwan have been high, and so we just did Venezuela last week. Now we're in Iran. That means we had to pull something from the South China Sea, which is there as a deterrent for Taiwan. You see how things could break into much bigger than just the people of Iran.
Absolutely.
You can legitimately see how that the people in Taiwan could be extremely anxious over what's going on.
For sure.
It's a huge puzzle, and some of the puzzle pieces are interlocking with other areas. A real puzzle, you can't take a piece and move it from the South China Sea to the Middle East. But in this puzzle, certainly that is the case of, what's going on right now. And as we talk, I see friends that are coming in, and I don't know how long you stay, but if you're out there watching and we don't really know who you are, or you're not on here much, throw a hi in the comments. And if we really don't know you, let us know where you're watching from. It helps us. It helps motivate us and gives us inspiration when we hear from those that are watching things
Engage.
go on. What do you got there, Ronnie?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is Tel Aviv, Qatar, Jerusalem, Northern Israel, just some current live camera feeds. I just thought it'd be cool to throw up for a minute. I understand it's really tiny on my computer, so I can only imagine how small it would be on a phone. But just thought for a minute it'd be cool to check it out. Don't see any fighter planes in the air. Doesn't mean nothing.
Well, Ronnie, we were just given
back to when people comment and message. I love that because I love talking back and forth.
We were just given the Pentagon Pizza Watch link. And if you remember, Ronnie talked about that.
Oh, yes. That is
not
one
too
thing
long
I
ago.
do track.
And
that's
the delivery services are, well, Trevor just threw a link there, and it's showing all kind of activity around the Pentagon. You know, if they're planning for a long night, you know, they probably missed supper, and they are they are in the pizza need.
Wow, that is cool. That is cool. I wish I could pull it up here. That is neat.
Son of Supreme
One of
Leader.
the pizza places near there is called We the Pizza, which I think is awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, We the Pizza.
Unconfirmed report that the son of the Supreme Leader Khamenei has transferred $1.5 billion to an escrow account in Dubai. Interesting. We were just talking a minute ago about whether or not the Supreme Leader would surrender. Of course, it might be easier to surrender with $1.5 billion sitting hidden away for you. Or he's about to die anyway. He's in very poor health, and this is for Sue, the old GOP.com days. He's about ready to meet his 72 Rottweilers instead of his 72 virgins when he gets to where it is that he's going. And I believe we do have a link. From Dr. Eli David, who is a AI researcher, lecturer, top 100 most influential X accounts. He posted Israel's Channel 14 reports that, and I'm not going to butcher his name, so I'm not going to say it, Khamenei, the son of the Supreme Leader, transferred $1.5 billion over the past 2 days to an escrow in Dubai. They are preparing to flee, is what this man has said. Great link there, Trevor. Thank you very, very much.
This, what I have pulled up, is one of the things that I monitor. It's actually on the big screen right above me. It shows flight patterns in the United States in the top left, Ukraine, and its air raid alerts in the bottom left. The top right is the Russian buzzer. I don't know if you can hear it. I can barely hear it in my earphones. And then the bottom right is the air traffic around Iran. This is just thank you to Discover X. This is with permission. Well, so I had it pulled up there for a minute. The Russian buzzer, that is a very weird topic. Nobody knows what it does. Nobody knows what it is. After Venezuela, and I played it on here before, they played some kind of music, but it just kind of buzzes and nobody really knows. A lot of speculation. It's a secret spy station. So it's one of the things that a lot of preppers monitor.
There's actually a lot of mystery going on right now. The sonic weapon, as they called it in Venezuela, has a lot of people. And I found it interesting that Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt basically stoked that fire and kept that one up to try to figure out what was going on with that. Let's
you know, you were talking about viewership. He's got Agenda Free has 23,000 people right now. But a normal news outlet like Live News from Fox has 2.4 thousand. There is a huge difference there.
Uh, yes, especially money-wise. I tell you what,
Absolutely.
we are just past the 7 o'clock hour. It's 7:08. We're going to take a short break and we're going to come in kind of like we were just getting started.
We're taking a short break, but
Absolutely.
don't go anywhere. Ed and Ronnie will be right back in just a few seconds. Thank you so much for supporting Red, White, and True. Did you know that your interactions with us on social media are vital to making sure that we continue to grow our audience? Please follow us on all major social media platforms, especially our Facebook page, so we can continue to share Christ through current events and more here on this live stream. Okay, just a little bit longer to make sure that you go grab your coffee, soda, or whatever you want, so we can continue with today's live stream. All right? Are you ready? Here we go. Here again are Ed and Ronnie.
Hey, thanks to Iba Reek for your support. And
Wake up, America. The rooster's been crowing and the sun is already high. It's time to open them ears and open that heart. Start listening to Ed and Ronnie, two fellas with a whole wagon load of sense, and watch their streams.
That was neither Ed nor Ronnie there in front of you. We're on the small side there, on the side.
That's right.
Welcome to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. This is our regular time, one of our regular times during the week. Our regular schedule, Monday, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then either Friday or Saturday. Looks like it'll probably have to be Saturday again this week because we have a men's group to be at Friday night.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, and I scheduled a survival group meeting on Saturday, and Saturday is kind of special to me, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it probably is, but we can go late. You'll be done with the meeting
Yes.
by 8-ish. So who knows? We might even have to sing "Happy Birthday" to somebody. Well, I'll have to find a video of somebody singing "Happy Birthday." If you know me, you know that singing is not my thing. Oh, I love to sing, just nobody wants to listen. You know, when
maybe Marilyn
the dog-
Monroe, you know, when she came out of the cake for President
Yes.
Kennedy, that would be awesome.
Well, I used to have that. Who knows? Maybe I can find it again. Agenda Free TV there is got a good question for their listeners. Will U.S. attack Iran soon to help protesters? Oh, Ronnie, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Right. He just got on there. Iranian airspace closure. Iranian airspace closure ends in 18 minutes and 3 seconds. And I'm in trouble. No, absolutely not. No. Thank you. No glitter. No glitter.
There's still probably glitter
I
at
shouldn't
places
have
at
said
our
that word.
house from last birthday.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure there is.
Well, you mentioned that there's still plenty of news. The Senate today basically shelved a bill that was put out to block our military action in Venezuela. There were several Republicans that crossed the line a few days ago and passed it out of, I don't remember if it was out of a committee but the Senate voted on Wednesday night to shelve a Democrat-led resolution to constrain President Donald Trump's ability to direct continued military action against Venezuela. Senators were on track to take the War Powers Resolution, sponsored by Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, to a final vote, but Senator James Risch, Republican of Idaho, raised a point of order challenging the premise of Kaine's resolution. Though U.S. forces had carried out pre-dawn raid on January 3rd, resulting in the successful capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, Risch said the War Powers Resolution lacked relevance because U.S. forces are not currently deployed inside of Venezuela. So the senators voted 50-50 in favor of Risch's point of order, which means that the ones that voted wrong the other day, at least two of them, and maybe more, changed their vote. They kind of slid out of the way conveniently when there was nothing on the line. So to me, that is good news. That's good news.
This right here bothers me. 2 large containers of red and blue glitter. Oh my!
Are we talking like 55-gallon drum large, or are we talking 16-ounce bottle of Coke large?
So for any of our listeners out there, and welcome to the multiple listeners on X. We are so glad to have you here. We are discussing a birthday party last year that was thrown for me that was all glitter, and I am self-proclaimed glitter phobic. I can't touch it. I don't want to be around it. And all the loved ones in my life decided to come together and give me a glitter birthday with glitter in the food and glitter everywhere. And it was traumatizing. And I had nightmares and scrubbed myself clean multiple times. But I appreciate it. I loved it. I had a blast. I really. Thank
and
you
all
so
of that happened right here where I'm sitting and behind.
Absolutely. Yes, I had a glitter banner. I had my name written in glitter. There was glitter food. It was a great time with a lot of loved ones, and I absolutely loved it. But I am glitter phobic. No glitter. If you want to get me something for my birthday or do a birthday party for me, include drums. I don't know, pew-pews. You know, we could do that.
MREs.
MREs, absolutely. I love MREs. Plenty of them.
There you go.
So yeah. But yeah, so back to our regular program news. We're still waiting to hear Iranian airspace closure in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. And we still have stuff going on in Minnesota. And this one is really bothering me. If I can find it. For everyone out there who's saying I am good and Renee good and all that, rest her soul. We pray for her family. But she hurt this guy.
Department of Homeland Security sources telling Fox News the ICE agent who was hit by Renee Nicole Good's car suffered internal bleeding in his torso. That is the same Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent who was seriously wounded last June when he was dragged by a car during attempted arrest. Yeah, a car rammed him and then dragged him. And by the way, there was street camera footage of some of that. The CBS local station, WCCO, covered that story last June extensively.
Right there, the federal agent who fatally shot Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis last week suffered internal bleeding to his torso when he was struck by her vehicle, a DHS official confirmed to Fox News on Wednesday. The extent of the bleeding, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent Jonathan Ross was not immediately clear. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem had previously said the agent was treated at the hospital before being released the same day. The health update comes after Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey Mr. Foulmouth Frey, Mayor Twinkletoes, previously downplayed the agent's injuries. The ICE agent walked away with a hip injury that he might as well have gotten from closing a refrigerator door with his hips, he told reporters Friday. Give me a break. No, he was not ran over. He walked out of there with a hop in his step. This is a developing story. Thoughts, feelings, comments there, Pastor Ed?
Well, when he made the first comments, he had no clue that.
No.
Well, he just had no clue, period. No, don't need to add anything to that. He had no clue.
He made
he was saying things that couldn't be corroborated because they didn't happen, or that they did happen when he said they didn't. When you see the video of the body cam and you hear him being knocked to the ground, it's hard to say that was fake. I seen an interesting take on that. They were using the body cam of the officer, and then it was kind of AI generated from that point. But you look at what he could see, and what is one of the things that the left is saying? Well, she had the wheels of her vehicle turned to the right. The body cam, he couldn't see the tires of the car. He was looking over the hood and hearing the engine revving at a high rate, and then let off of the gas, or let off of the brake, put it into drive.
And all along, her wife sitting there filming, saying, "Drive, baby, drive."
We talked on Monday that really nobody's opinion anywhere, including the deceased person, their thoughts, none of them matter except for the officer that felt his life was in danger. You might, and it may be very well this way, her intent may not have been to run over him. I like to think her intent was not to run over him. But there's no way that he would know that. When he's looking, and again, through his body cam, you can see he's that close. And the guy that was doing this scenario was former law enforcement. He didn't even say a tenth of a second. He said an eighth of a second. And he gave some different scenarios. He said, walk up, look this, oh, too late, you're dead. She ran you over. I mean, people talk about motive and all of those different. That woman had followed them around all day long, and if they were going to kill her on purpose, they'd have got out of that vehicle, guns drawn, ready to do. He said, he being the person that was making this reenactment, said that he was shocked that the officer didn't draw his weapon sooner than what he did, which gives credence, in my opinion, that there was no pre-planning to it. How do you pre-plan something in 8/10 of a second?
Right. You know, the thing is he was already scared. He'd already been hit. He'd already been dragged. He'd already been injured. And it was happening again. So, of course, he was on high alert. Here we go. We got a message from Michael. Says, all this could have been avoided morning if you had listened to him and got out of the car. Exactly. Or tried to run over to him. They should have stayed at home. She would have never lost her life. Absolutely. She FO'd. Unfortunately, it cost her life.
the life of her
It is
kid's mother.
Yeah. It is my sincere prayer that people take heed from this, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem so. They continue to harass ICE agents who are lawfully doing their job.
There's all these ear-piercing whistles going on around us right now. What are these people blowing those whistles for?
No, it's interesting you ask that, Matt. Oftentimes these individuals have no reason or they have no clue why we are in an area. We could arrest, again, a child molester or a child rapist or a murderer, illegal alien, and they don't seem to care. They don't agree with that for some odd reason, and it seems that they protest or agitate, and they don't know why they're doing that.
They know why they're doing that. Orange man bad. That's all that matters. Orange man bad. But unfortunately, and I will play this video. It's 12 seconds long. It's extremely hard to see. And I don't know why this isn't more blatant in the news. But sometimes ICE agents fail. They're human. They're not perfect. And this guy, he failed, and I hope he loses his job.
Oh, he's got his gun. He pulled out his gun. You saw that. Oh, he's got his gun. He pulled out his gun. You saw that.
Now, I don't know too much about this situation, but obviously in that video, there's an unarmed protester standing there, and that ICE agent pulled his gun and put it right between his eyes for a fraction of a second, put it back in his holster. They're human. They're sick and tired of this. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let them do their jobs. You people want rapists and child molesters and drug dealers in your community. Let them just do their job. But I'll get more information on that, and hopefully in the coming days.
Oh, thank you, Mary. I
I saw that.
Appreciate that. As we continue, we've been on an hour and 22 minutes. It says we came on early just because of what's going on in and around Iran. We firmly believe that there is an imminent attack. If there's not, Ronnie, there's sure a whole lot of fooled people.
There's sure a whole lot of things going on if it's not true.
Well,
Wow.
it would be a huge exercise in how to, let's think about this for a second. What do we expect to be accomplished tonight? What do you think the end game is? Is it regime change?
That's my hope. That's my goal. That's my prayer. I want those Christians in Iran to be able to. If you've ever seen videos of Iran, like pre-1970, that women walked around in shorts, they had swimming pools. It looked like the United States. The regime change, it all went Muslim. They had to walk around in burqas. All that stopped. No swimming pools, no fun. It's ridiculous. So I hope it changes. That's my hope and prayer. Absolute hope and prayer.
Now, we can also say that the Shah of Iran, who was in power, supported by the United States, was not the greatest person in the world. He had some definite flaws, but it was run as a monarchy, a kingdom, so to speak. And his successor would have been. When you think monarchy, think the Queen of England died. There obviously is a new one, but think the monarchy in England. And so when the king or the queen passes away, a son is next in line. And so that son, in that case, is alive. He has stated that he's willing to help usher in an interim, uh, stand in place until they get things in order. And I think he's done a very good job, Ronnie, of not looking like I want this so that I can be in charge. He's made it look like he's willing to stand in place until they get the thing straightened out the way it needs to be.
Yes,
And
absolutely. I am getting tons of news feed coming in. The Iranian airspace closure ends at 1 minute 48 seconds. I'm going to pop you over to to Steve Lookner on Agenda Free, Red, White, and True. So let me go to it here. I know this for a fact. It's affected a lot of things. Nationwide outage for Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile's customers are experiencing interruptions with their phones and service today. I know for a fact Verizon confirms outage impacting customers nationwide. Some report being stuck in SOS. That has happened since at least 1:30 this afternoon, and it has not changed. Bill Clinton was subpoenaed to be at hearing about Jeffrey Epstein. He did not show up. President Bill Clinton is now claiming presidential immunity against any impending contempt charges, insisting he's done nothing wrong, and he has a squeaky clean record. We all know that is not correct. Back to the nationwide outage real quick. Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, Fios, CyberGhost, US Cellular, Apple Support, Spectrum, Reddit, and I know for a fact, personally, YouTube have all been down today. So if you've had any problems with that, there you go. Also, Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, passed away. And
yes,
I kind of wanted to give a brief shout out because the final words he said on bed where what was it? I follow Jesus Christ, or I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Which is
if this was a normal night, I would share a story that I read from a pastor that I kind of wish he wouldn't have talked about. He talked about the sincerity of the gentleman who passed, and we'll just save that for another time because it probably deserves a segment. And for those of you who have heard me say, I have a segment that I've been planning on some President Trump issues. I have intentionally put that on the back burner because
I've had one. I've had one written for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at on this one, and
right.
So.
So the Iranian airspace closure has actually, the timer has run out. The airspace should be closed once Verizon goes down. Since a dry run, one time maybe a glitch, 3 times it's a problem. You're not being told out of concern of mass panic. It won't be long until there's a terror alert on your phone. I am flipping flight tracker over to Iranian airspace now so we can check it out. Give me a second. This is flight tracker 24. The time clock has ran out. But it's so weird. These 2 planes have still been there. The number 1 tracked in the world, 26,112 people are tracking this flight from Guangzhou to Tehran. And then this plane from Shenzhen to Tehran, number 2 tracked plane in the world, 22,067. They've just been kind of sitting there. And the, like I said again, they may come in contact with some U.S. fighter jets. We will continue to monitor. It's crazy. Those planes have been there. I mean, we've been on an hour and a half, and they've been there the entire time. Look at this guy. He flew into Iranian airspace. Tracked by satellite.
Yeah, he's like
no information available.
He's all puckered up now when he realized where he's sitting at.
Right.
Huh.
He crossed the border. Whoopsie.
Whoops.
He may.
Yeah, his wife.
We don't know. It doesn't even say what it is.
If his wife tracks him like that, she's like screaming, "What
are you doing?" Right. You idiot, get out of there. So these two planes are, well, where did they go? There they are. They're supposed to land right here in Tehran, whatever you call it. But honestly, they have just been sitting there. Tehran, whatever.
Tehran. Now I got to tell you that let's go back in time. I'll take the screen here for just a second.
Go ahead.
So I was in the military from 1980 to 1984. And guess when the Islamic Republic of Iran went into place? I believe officially 1979. So I remember thinking at the time that they were our biggest enemy. Biggest enemy as in something going to happen immediately. Of course, the Soviet Union was our biggest enemy, and thus Russia, Soviet Union equaled Russia plus everything they had taken over. So Russia is, in my estimation, has been, and unless something changes drastically, always will be our biggest enemy. But I remember basic training, things were, cadences, running in formations and cadences. And then, you go on, and I got out in 1984. And when I was at Fort Campbell, part of the 101st, I called cadence. I might not be able to sing, but I can call cadence. And I remember a cadence that said, "Ayatollah, can't you see? You can't bring no smoke on me. We'll run all day, we'll run all night, we'll bomb your old out of sight." And now, let's see, how many years later is that? 42 years later, 84 to 26. We're about to do just that. So from my perspective, that was a long time in the making. And Ronnie, you probably learned something about me again tonight.
Absolutely.
About calling cadence.
Love cadence, marching cadence. We
Ayatollah.
We had one as well, but I'm not going to repeat it on here.
Well, I cleaned that one up a little bit. You can't bring no smoke on me. Does that sound military or what? You can't bring no smoke on me.
No.
And the thing is, when I was calling cadence, we were in the midst of running, we'd run 4 miles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just kind of like Red, White, and True is on Monday, Wednesday, and either Friday or Saturday. We'd run 4 miles. Captain Mulch, our company commander, would be out front, and we would, heckle him a little bit we didn't want to heckle too hard, or that 4-mile run could become a 5-mile run.
Or an 8.
Yeah, he was a good man. I'd like to know whatever happened to him. So, I know Bill and Tanya have been in here, and they made comments. They keep finding things out about their friend, Pastor Ed, that they never knew before.
I'll be right back. Pumpkinhead is coming home from color guard.
All right. Well, as we continue on, came on about an hour or so early. We wanted to be here when things broke down and broke loose in Iran. We didn't want to jump in, and we want to be here, and we want to be ready with what's going on. Wanted to make to say an announcement, and I guess it would be pretty safe to say that it is an announcement. I got to get to the right screen here. No, well, my screen's on the pizza delivery service at the Pentagon right now. Let me get over here. Want to do this
back.
Oh, good.
And my little punkity pot brought me a coffee.
Boy, somebody must have heard that's what you needed.
Yep.
Well,
I appreciate it.
You're back just in time to tell us about the very first sponsor. Speaking of coffee.
Yes, absolutely. This, unfortunately, is not from our sponsor. Our sponsor, our very first, can you imagine? We started out a little rinky-dink operation, just kind of BSing, watching Donald Trump, and now we have a sponsor. Sergeant D's Coffee Beans. Great guy. I know him. I've known Mr. Darren Ness for probably going on 15 years now. My apologies that the picture isn't as great. We had like 15 minutes from conversation to going live, but please, my friends, my family, my loved ones, and anyone who doesn't know me, please check out Sergeant D's Coffee Beans on Facebook. He does have a coffee truck. He goes around, and I wish I was sipping some now, but I couldn't get there in time and back to be live. So next time, Saturday night.
Next time. So thank you, Mr. Ness.
Yes.
Welcome to the Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie family. Let me explain, because we probably got people on here more so than normal. We use as our title Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. That is our complete title. We do that because there is a news site that is called Red, White, and True, and we don't want to piggyback off of them or get into any bickering on who was where first, because to be honest, they were here before we were. But so some people might say, well, can't you just say Red, White, and True? And we could, but we want to make sure that we are portraying ourselves as our own, and that we don't want to, ride on the coattails of someone else and their hard work. Like when we put agenda-free TV things on the screen, we want to make sure that Steve gets his credit for doing that. We use 2C TV. We want to make sure that family gets their, their due, because we're starting to understand how much work goes into doing the
Oh my
kind of
goodness.
things that we're doing. And so, uh-oh.
Back to the flight tracker. Those two planes are still there, just tutting right along. Let me switch this over here. This plane is scheduled to land. Well, 4:30 their time, whatever it is our time, I'm not sure. 23-year-old plane, 18,000 feet. Doesn't have 387 miles an hour. You would think they would have reached around terrain by now. But if you were just joining us, airspace in Iran has been closed for about 20, 30 minutes or so. We continue to track these two planes that are on their way to land. That little guy that kind of crossed the border moved away. Now, to remind everybody, when this happened, when the NOTAM, the Notice to Airmen, which is a notice to, they're killing all flights. No flights are allowed. This happened in Venezuela. The NOTAM was issued. They gave him a specific amount of time. That timer elapsed, and bam, everything hit. Now, this is a flight tracker. It tracks all kinds of flight. Every flight in the world. Every flight in the world right now is tracked on this, except flights that kill their transponders. Now, that's what happened in Venezuela. The transponders were killed, so nobody could see the planes. The transponders are basically call signs, to other pilots, other planes flying around. Hey, I'm here. Don't hit me, kind of thing. I just switched to military view. This is the military planes. This is a fighter jet, a Boeing F-15. This is the number 5 track plane in the world. It's from Qatar. I believe that guy's been flying around for days. Just kind of doing a little check around here. These are drones from Turkey. Ooh, that's a plane from Libya. This is a C-17 Globemaster, took off from the United Kingdom. Forte. So Forte is an American drone. Forte is right now at 51,000 feet. Now, as you can see, Forte did not go into Iranian airspace, but it did take off from Sicily. It's up here in Poland now. This is a very, very cool drone. Very highly tracked. Northrop Grumman RQ-4B Global Hawk. Doesn't look like any really military planes from anyway, there's also none in Venezuela if you look. If we go back into the all categories, Venezuela still looks like an island. One plane. And we go back over here to Iran. Those planes are, where did they go? There still are. Man, they just look like they're tutting along, don't they? They've been in Iranian airspace for over an hour and a half now. My goodness. We'll continue to monitor. Thank you very much for joining us. We're still tracking what's going on in Iran. We just talked a little while ago about the protests in Minneapolis. And Minneapolis, if you don't know, actually just put out a very well-written tourism app. And welcome to Minnesota.
Welcome to Minnesota, where every moment is an adventure. From the tranquil natural beauty of our waters to the rich culture of our cities, Minnesota is where unforgettable memories are made.
Go inside now! Get in the house!
Step into friendly neighborhoods that make you feel right at home the moment you arrive. Stroll through vibrant streets, soak in the energy of our dynamic nightlife, or indulge in a shopping spree at one of our world-class boutiques. And behind it all is strong leadership and inclusive policies that create a place where everyone can thrive. Minnesota, We're ready to be your next adventure.
Now, obviously, that was satire, but it's a little something funny. I found. I figured with everything going on, we could use a laugh.
Hey, I'm promising you, as focused as military people have to be, they're going to do something in there to get a laugh in order to keep the stress levels where they need to be.
Yes.
And let's look at a few headlines. Not going to comment, but we mentioned earlier that the Senate blocked a bill that would have basically hampered the powers of the commander in chief, and that can't be good when you have Congress critters that are telling the commander in chief what they can and can't do. That's not how the Constitution talks about. Another headline: 36,000 refugees could not provide IDs when entering the U.S. after Afghanistan withdrawal. 36,000 of the people that we brought in, we had no idea who they were because they didn't have identification.
Go figure.
36,000. 36,000.
Golly. Wow.
Dr. Oz states spending Medicaid funds on illegal immigrants is worse than we thought. The Justice Department sues Minnesota over affirmative action in state government.
I have two teens die in Florida after sandhole traps them underground. Two teenagers whose relatives said they were best friends have died after a sandhole they were digging at a Florida park collapsed and buried them for more than an hour. Wow. Wow, this is a great episode, Ed. I swear, we started out with information from Iran. We've covered news topics. We did more than 6. We've covered Minnesota. We've bounced back and forth. Boy, I tell you one thing. This is one of them episodes that just gives you the
Yeah, I mean, we've talked Taiwan, Minnesota. We've heard the L.A., Venezuela. You know, Cuba's been in the headlines.
The cell phone outages.
Yeah, the cell phone outages. Cuba, they're concerned that they could be the next Venezuela. And you know, I don't want the whole world thinking that we're trying to take over the whole world, but Cuba's dictator being a little on the nervous side, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Right. Ain't no worries there.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Here's something cool. Recently, Pete Hegseth and Elon Musk have collaborated. They're talking about a new generation AI and making Star Trek real. This is another thing that's just right in my wheelhouse.
But today, we're excited to announce the next frontier AI model company to join GenAI.mil, and that is Grok from xAI, which will go live later this month. So I want to thank you, Elon, and your incredible team for leaning forward with us on this as well. Very soon, we will have the world's leading AI models on every unclassified and classified network throughout our department. Long overdue. To further... How about this? Star Trek real.
Star Trek original. Yes. It's not always science fiction, but one day the science fiction turns to science fact. We want to make Starfleet Academy real.
I know you geeked out.
To sign up. I will be the first
I know
one to
you
sign up.
geeked out.
Even though I turned 42 on Saturday, I will still sign up for Starfleet Academy because live long and prosper. Yes, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have starship models. I have about 200 in storage, but I kept my two favorite. I got my Deep Space Nine and my USS Independence. So yes, I did geek out. My apologies. I am not just survival, red, white, and true, and pew pews. I do like Star Trek, and I am a nerd. I apologize, but that is so cool. I didn't realize that we had advanced that far. The whole thing with Venezuela, when it happened, I didn't realize we had advanced that far to have that sonic weapon that we discussed that made the soldiers and the troops bleed from their eyeballs and all that. It was all conspiracy theory stuff, and now it's conspiracy fact, I guess, or conspiracy. I guess it's not conspiracy at all, but that is some cool stuff right there. Cool stuff. I'll be the old man in Starfleet Academy. I'll do
it. Somebody's got to. That's like me when I was with Vets for Freedom with Pete Hegseth and those guys. They were the young guys. They let a few of us in, a few of us older guys in, kind of to, be mentors and to humor us probably.
Right.
But, who would have thought back then that Pete Hegseth would end up being the Secretary of War?
Oh my gosh.
He led that organization. He led it well. He was a very sharp person. And so obviously I followed him after that, through his years at Fox, the different things that he did. They had a Vets for Freedom tour, and they had a tour bus. I wish I could find the picture. I could. It's a picture of me in front of it, and I think I'll look for it here when you start talking again. And they were on the road. They took the Vets for Freedom tour bus on the road, and I kind of helped them plan the stop in Evansville, Indiana, at an LST that is on the Ohio River, LST 325, I believe, that was actually part of D-Day. Lots of history involved, and I tell you what, you take over. I'll go see if I can find that picture.
All right, I can just pull up. We've been talking about this in our little private group chat. If I can get it pulled up. This is thanks to 2C TV. He's doing a kind of exactly what we're doing, is tracking flights. We can listen in for a little bit.
They managed to take over. So that's not really a popular revolution, despite the fact that CNN has been telling you that for the past few decades, because it's embarrassing that the truth has now come out over the last few years, the CIA files, that CIA and Jimmy Carter were behind Khomeini's network and the communication between the two sides and France, and of course MI6. What sites you think US fighter jets will target? Given the US is loath to attack civilians, one, please stay safe. Thank you for that. Well, the president said he was giving, the White House said the president was provided with a list of 50 targets. Wow. Now, that is a massive list.
50 targets.
The obvious ones, apart from the IRGC bases and the military bases, are the government sites and the actual leadership. But that means that certain targets will be mobile. They're not going to be static. So including, for example, the Supreme Leader, he might move his bunker. You never know. But it really depends on what sort of attack we are going to be seeing. It really depends. According to the White House, they said a couple of days ago when they were preparing for this, that a symbolic one-off strike is off the table. That's what they said. But you never know. What if what we're about to see is still going to be just hitting the air defense systems, ballistic missile sites, I don't know, nuclear sites, and a couple of government sites? We could see that, and that won't really do much. It would do something, but not much.
Wow. Man, I hit that right at the bucket. That was some great information. Thank you, Tusi. Wow. That kind of gave me goosebumps, talking about targets, everything like that. news coming in from live now from Fox. Trump signs whole milk for healthy kids. I guess that's kind of important. He did sign where in schools, whole milk and 2% are now allowed. I asked my 11-year-old, what did you guys drink before? And it was 1% and fat-free. I did not realize when I was a kid it was 2% whole milk, chocolate milk, strawberry milk. This right here is from Reuters, APT. These are live protests going on at the moment, right now. Looks like somebody's holding their phone vertical. Let's see if there's any sound. Now, real quick, let me break in here. These people are fighting for their lives. They're not fighting because Orange Man bad. They're not out there throwing a pissy party. They're out there fighting for their lives. Well, we got this pulled up. We got a couple of comments here. Howdy, guys. Anything happen yet? What I missed? DoorDash, in and out. No problem. Nothing has happened quite yet. We are tracking everything. We've been live for going on 2 hours. Wow. We may stay all night. I don't know. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning, but I can stay up a little bit. That's no problem. These are live protests going on there. Miss Beth says, better late than never, but I'll watch the replay. And I appreciate that. We love you, Beth. I surely appreciate that. We appreciate every single one of you viewers. And right now, it looks like we have 268 watching us on X. We have 1 heart from Miss Sonia. We got 7 likes. If you're out there watching on Facebook, please give us a like, give us a heart, give us a smiley face, give us something. I don't care. We surely appreciate it. Appreciate everyone on X. Appreciate everyone, period, that has to listen to my voice. And look at my stupid dog over here on the bed, asleep. Spunky balls. We'll go back to the riots. This is some pretty crazy stuff. At the moment, I am just kind of scrolling through, going from site to site, videos, trying to get the best information out there, the most current information out there. Just give me a moment here, please. Here we go. Breaking news. Marco Rubio's in stark warning. Let's see if we can get this pulled up. Listen to Marco Rubio. This is a thank you to Mirror Now. I've actually never heard of it.
Provide the baseline for a lot of the ideas that we pursue. There isn't a week that goes by that I don't send back 2 or 3 cables with notes about let's turn this into a policy proposal. We are changing this place so that it is our missions in the field that are not just driving directives from the top down, but also ideas from the bottom up. And I'm very proud of that. And I think that's going to lead and pay huge dividends for future secretaries of state long after I'm gone. So, yes, sir.
Thank you, Secretary. Human rights organizations report that 2025 has seen the highest number of executions in the Islamic Republic of Iran in over 2 decades. What specific new measures is the State Department taking to ensure that human rights abuses, specifically this surge of state-sanctioned execution, do not become a secondary priority in your dealings with Tehran?
Well, ultimately, look, we have very deep systemic disagreements with the regime in Iran. And it's part of one of, if not the most sanctioned country in the world, one of the most sanctioned countries in the world. There isn't a week that goes by, or at least 2-3 times a month, I'm authorizing some new sanction on some new entity related to Iran. I don't think anyone could argue that this administration has been friendly towards them. So we continue to feature these things because it tells us about who they are. In the case of some of these executions that you're talking about, some of them, by the way, were in the aftermath of the war with Israel, where they went through and have jailed people and accused people of being informants and spies and things of that nature. But we're under no illusion. And every year we put out a report that outlines this, and we've been pretty consistent in our messaging. Our problem with the Iranian regime isn't simply, obviously it's predominantly their desire to acquire nuclear weapons, their sponsorship of terrorism, but it's ultimately the treatment of their own people. I said it in my hearing a year ago in the Senate. I say it now. I know of no nation on earth where there is such a difference between a regime that governs the country and the people who live there every single day. That regime is not reflective of the people who live in Iran, who are the inheritors of a proud and long cultural legacy and a proud history. And then you've got a clerical radical regime that has driven and taken the wealth of that country and used it not to enrich secure their people and their future, not to make sure they have enough water and electricity. They've used their money to sponsor terrorist organizations all over the world. That's what they've used their money for. So we're going to continue to consistently point that out.
Secretary.
Some good stuff from there. He's getting ready to leave. Mama's finally here. It's about time. Where in the world have you been? We did gain a few more reactions, and we appreciate it and love every single one of them. All right, going back to finding some more news while we wait on Pastor Ed there. Just give me a moment here. I've got about 1,000 things pulled up. Here we go. This is courtesy of Duramax World News. Actually, I talked to this guy once. Great guy, lives in Kentucky. Facebook tries to pull him down all the time. He does something similar to the other one I showed earlier, Duramax. He just kind of tracks a little bit of everything. It bounces back and forth. Right now, it's just some news. He likes to post Donald Trump's post from Truth Social on here. It's a really good feed to follow when we're not live and giving you the news. Iran Ministry of Intelligence raided Malad Hospital in Isfahan, abducting several doctors. And I've seen this before. Skymaster is to do an exercise Century Aloha 26-1. Not sure what that means, but I've been seeing that a lot. This is kind of showing it's 104 Zulu time. Showing over here Ukraine and the air raid warnings, kind of where the sun's at, just hitting the West Coast. This is the latest on silver. Now, silver is weird. It's jumped up. It's looking to go by the end of the year to being close to $100 an ounce. So my suggestion to everyone is to invest in silver. When I had silver and I sold it, it was $20 an ounce. So please, it looks like it's something that's going to go up. There it is again. Skymaster is to do an exercise with Century Aloha 26-1. I'm going to have to look into that. I wonder what that means. Let's jump back over to Agenda Free and see if he's got any news going on. I want to make sure we're on top of everything here. This is courtesy of Steve Luckner and Agenda Free.
If the U.S. is calling for a Security Council meeting, that they will attack before the Security Council meeting. NBC News reports Trump would want military action in Iran to be swift and decisive. I don't know what this would be. NBC says Trump has told his national security team that he would want any U.S. military action in Iran to deliver a swift and decisive blow to the regime and not a sustained war that dragged on for weeks or months. But Trump's advisors have so far not been able to guarantee to him that the regime would quickly collapse after an American military strike. And there is a concern that the U.S. may not have all the assets in the region it would need to guard against what administration officials expect would be an aggressive Iranian response. I don't know if a quick strike will be enough to destroy the regime.
Real quick, this just in from Senate Republicans at Senate GOP. Picture of Donald Trump saying, Iranian patriots keep protesting. Help is on the way. Aw, and Sonia, I love you too. You're awesome, except for the glitter.
I was going to say, she shows up after you talk about glitter. Is that a conspiracy theory?
Hang on.
I'm thinking so, and
Tanya.
I may
Tanya
cancel the
says
meeting and go into hiding on Saturday.
would and live from
go underground.
the
You'll never
Father's
find me.
house. Pastor Ed and at an undisclosed location. Ronnie.
Hiding from glitter. Golly. All right. Did you find the picture there?
I found that
for?
I did not. I did find a couple of pictures of Hegseth at one of the rallies that took place in D.C. I was looking for one of the tour bus. It was painted so. It was just like one of those a Starship Enterprise glitter party.
Enterprise glitter party. Oh. Disco ball and all.
There you go.
So starting Friday night when I get off work, I'm going into hiding and from an undisclosed location. I can go live from my phone. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm using. I've got my laptop here in front of me, but I'm actually running everything through my phone. That's why yours is horizontal, mine is vertical.
Vertical, yep.
Got to try to figure that out.
Oh, it scares me. Every time one of these little pops up at the top comments, just for me. I love you too, Mama. You can't find me. I'll disappear. Wow. Unfortunately, I think, I don't know. I'm afraid that we've been live for 2 hours, 5 minutes, 40 seconds. I don't want to quit, but I'm afraid that this attack may happen later. I'm starting to lean towards that a little bit.
Well,
real quick, just for laughs, this guy had one job and he failed.
Love me, love me, love me, love.
For those of you on your phones and couldn't see that was a porta potty being lifted by a crane. It broke and fell down onto the bridge. Can you imagine traveling on that bridge and suddenly being covered in the remnants of a porta potty that just exploded in the lane next to you? What a crappy job. You had one job and you failed. Sorry, we needed a laugh.
Well, thank you to the folks that have liked and loved and all of the love that they're given. If you're listening right now, throw a thumbs up in there for us. Like us, please love us, want more. Like it. We love it. We want more. I'm into the cadences.
Military cadences, absolutely. Military cadences. You know, I wish I could flip this camera around and show everybody the command center, because it's kind of cool. I've got everything tracking. One of those two planes in Iran finally landed in terrain. So now there's just one plane with this transponder in Iran. The Russian buzzer's quiet. Looks like the air raid alerts and Ukraine are quieting down. Military flight traffic is quieting down in the United States. Iran time 4:43:03 a.m. Who knows? They may wake up sunrise and bam, there's the United States military. That'd be cool. 112 Zulu. You track military time.
This is kind of like Christmas Eve. You know, you can't hardly wait for Christmas to get here. You know it's coming, and it's so close, but you know,
wow.
We
I don't know if you've heard about this. I don't. There's been a medical evacuation on the International Space Station.
Yes,
they're pulling all Americans from the International Space Station back to Earth and basically transferring control over it to Russia. Not exactly positive what that's about, but I'm not a fan.
If Beth is watching, she could probably make a comment. She follows that pretty closely, and she actually asked the Father's House to pray about that situation a couple of Thursdays ago when we were all together for Bible study.
Yeah, not exactly sure what that was about, but my goodness. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not. The International Space Station should be international, as it says. I don't understand what the medical issue was or why they would pull all in such an emergency.
They've been kind of tight-lipped about it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Wow, this is live in Minnesota right now. Let me get it pulled up. Bishop Henry Whipple Federal Building in Minnesota. This is courtesy of BG on the Scene. Thank you, BG on the Scene. We appreciate you. There were some protesters, there's some graffiti. Please ignore that. Beth says, no, still one American there. It's a medical emergency. It'll splash down at 3:30 in the morning. Beth, do you know anything about what kind of medical emergency it was, or was it just kind of tight-lipped? F. Ice, rest in peace, Renee. F. Ice. Wow, these people have a great vocabulary. Big Billy Bad Boy there, screaming something. Let's get some volume.
I got the way.
Hey, can you release the
And again, we talked about this on Monday. We talked about it earlier. You know, these people here in Minnesota are fighting because Orange Man bad. Unfortunately, someone lost their life. Rest in peace, Renee Good. Our thoughts are with your family, your children, your wife. I saw a comedian the other day that felt bad for your dog. It's kind of funny. But these people are not anywhere close to the protesters in Iran. Protesters in Iran are fighting for their lives.
They're not even in the same they're not even in the same discussion.
No, absolutely not. These are crybabies. These are flaming libtards
Paid.
are running around with whistles and these bullhorns, and it's
paid.
Yes. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Beth. I can sleep tonight. The next group with Americans will launch in mid-February. HIPAA laws won't allow the actual emergency. That is some cool
HIPAA.
stuff. I got to sit down with you. Yeah, well, I mean HIPAA laws, I'm sure. That they won't announce it, unfortunately. But I got to sit down with you, Bethy. If you track that kind of stuff, you're in my wheelhouse. You're my buddy. I get to go camping out at your place, so I surely appreciate you. Bill and Tanya says these people are looking for 5 minutes of fame. Absolutely. The cameras are there. CNN's there. Fox News is there. Every news station's there. These people honestly make me sick. All the things in the world that they could be doing, and they're sitting out there protesting, and all they needed to do is sit down and watch the video. You sit down, you watch the video, you see clearly Renee Good hit the ICE agent. Obviously, he had internal bleeding. We played that earlier. He had major injuries. That's what happens when you use your car as a weapon. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Enough of these crybabies. Tim Waltz was in a hearing about what happened, and here is old Tampon Tim doing what he does best, dodging questions.
Is it the responsibility of ICE to actually deport illegal aliens in the United States who are here? Isn't that their responsibility?
Yes, it is, Congressman, except that the Constitution is not an inconvenience. It's not an either or.
Nobody said an inconvenience. He have a responsibility to deport illegal aliens, and the president is going through that process right now. And let's be very clear, the previous administration, they abused every process there is under border laws to allow more than 10 million people into the country illegally. And this is a burden on all Americans. And so the president is doing his job. So it is sick to refer to Americans who are ICE agents as Gestapo. Governor, you're wrong. You need to apologize to these agents. They're doing their jobs. They are Americans. They serve this country with honor and decency and respect. Do not diminish their work simply because you tried to make a cheap point that you could tweet. I yield back.
Spank. I don't know who that gentleman was, but he just spanked him. I love it.
Hey, Ronnie, watch this.
Go ahead. Oh my. Oh my. That
Look at
right
that.
there, ladies,
Look, let's
that
do it.
right there, ladies and gentlemen, is tons and tons of kick butt, I guess. I don't.
Oh.
If those things are coming at you, doesn't matter where they're coming from. They're bringing a kick ass with them. So
yeah,
man, that was great.
Open up a can.
Right. I love Bill and Tanya's comment. Looked like he lost his crown. Absolutely. Here we've got. This is. Oh my goodness. This is President Donald Trump speaking. I don't quite remember exactly where it's from, but I will.
Keeps playing games like this, you'll end up in a third world war, and we don't want to see that happen.
Can you confirm that you have appointed a general to lead the stabilization forces in Gaza? What will be its mission, and how soon do you want to see?
Well, we're working very strongly on Gaza. Yeah, we're working very much on Gaza. We actually do have a real peace in the Middle East. We have 59 countries supporting it, which is never happened before. We have countries that want to come in and take care of Hamas, as an example. We have countries that want to come in and take care of Hezbollah in Lebanon, as an example. And I say, right now, you don't have to do that. You may have to do that, but we have countries that are volunteering to come in and literally take care of the whole thing. We have a great peace in the Middle East. It's never happened before. And I think it's very strong, actually.
And with Prime Minister Netanyahu, you're supposed to meet him end of this month. What's on the agenda?
Well, we get along with him very well. He's been a wartime prime minister, certainly. We did a big thing when we went in with this very plane right here, this beautiful plane. We went in with those B-2s, and we.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe what we just saw was a B-2. And Bethy says her uncle flew a refueling plane for 20 years. 20 years. Can you imagine? Back to the president.
Some people say 2 weeks. I don't know if it's 2 weeks, but a very short period of time. They were very close to having massive nuclear weapons. And these guys went in and they did a job. And that made peace possible because everybody was afraid of Iran. And now they're not afraid of Iran anymore. And Iran would like to make a deal with us.
Your own national security strategy does not say obliterated, sir. It says set them back. Your intro does.
Well, the Atomic Energy Commission said obliterated, and the people that have seen the site said obliterated. And frankly, Iran said it was obliterated. And to show you how accurate it was, and you know, I fight for the pilots because the pilots and those people went in there at great risk, and they hit every single target on every single bomb, and they did a lot of damage. And for them to be given anything less than 100% of the credit is unfair. So I will tell you, the Atomic Energy Commission said it's like gonzo. It's one person actually used the term obliterated.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Let's back to our ugly mugs for the moment. That's a cool little model. The B2. That was pretty neat.
Yep.
That's pretty neat. Of course, Agenda Free's got stuff, and as soon as I pull it up, he'll go back to him just sitting there. But we'll see what he's got to say. Steve Lookner at Agenda Free TV, ladies and gentlemen, great guy, always on top of stuff. Somebody I look up to be one day.
A scale caught the authorities off guard at a vulnerable time in Iran, but it does not appear that the government faces imminent collapse, and its security apparatus still appears to be in control. "45 minutes left in the closure of Iranian airspace by Iran. 45 minutes. Will they extend it? We don't know.
There's still that one plane in here.
Currently, 3:15 a.m. 3:15 a.m. Iran time. Not much on flight radar over Iranian airspace.
It looks like there's 3 now.
These are estimated positions, but these are international flights.
This is not red, white, and assume. These are estimated positions. Right now, there is only one plane. I don't know what these two guys are doing back here, but on my flight tracker, there's only one.
Thank you, Amy Clark says. Thank you, Kelly Me. Thank you, Brinton Photography.
Thank you, Steve Lookner. Let's go back to, I guess, back to us for the moment. You got anything over there at your news desk, Pastor Ed?
Well, it's not news. You know, we're obviously filling some time because I don't know about you, Ronnie, but I have no desire to stop until we get some good stuff going. But
you know,
so
I'm here. I'm here, but honestly, I gotta pee. So.
Well, you can go away and
that coffee's running through me like a laser beam. I just wanted to show my flight tracker. There's that one plane. It is approaching Tehran. It's getting ready to land. 2 minutes, 21,000 feet. 409 miles an hour. So once that plane lands right there, I mean, it's just got a little bit to go. Then Iranian airspace is clear.
Well,
so I guess we could come.
I'm going to share my screen real quick, and we will
go for it.
we will see if we can have some fun.
I love it.
So, fortunately, I looked for one that didn't have much time on it. And I'm going to go ahead and remove Ronnie so that he's able to sneak out of his command center up there. I've not been up there for a while to see any new upgrades to the command center. I've been trying to think of ways that we could do things differently around here. We got a lot of brainstorming going on, different things like that. Equipment setups, studio, lots of things to think about as we move forward with Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. We introduced our first sponsor tonight, Sergeant D's coffee beans. Ronnie will tell you more about that as time goes on. But I picked the Bomb Iran short version. I don't know if the sensors are good enough to realize that that wasn't actually the Beach Boys that were singing that it was a parody. But Ronnie and I have been doing this since 11/5/24, November the 5th, 24, election night, by the way. That's where we started. And it's kind of wrapped around that I got an election map of the United States right here hanging right below my phone, where it shows how red the United States is, and not was, but is. We're only a year into the second administration of Donald J. Trump. And so for all liberals that are in here watching with us, you've still got 3 years to go crazy. And then when he does things like he is in the process of doing as we speak, and his poll numbers go up because anytime there is military action of sorts, usually the commander-in-chief is popular at that point in time. So if you're liberal and you're in here, that will probably make you spin a little bit. We like to tease liberals when they come in, make fun of, however you want to say it. I mentioned we've been doing this since 11/5/24. I'm a veteran. Ronnie has law enforcement background in his career, and we love the United States of America, and we're proud to say that. You know what? A lot of people would refer to us, Ronnie, as Christian nationalists. And yeah. I used to get really irritated with that, but I kind of take that as a compliment anymore. They don't mean it as a compliment. But I'm proud to be an American. God first. There's nothing wrong with being a proud American. There's nothing wrong with it if you have it in the right order and God is first. A God-fearing American patriot is a great thing.
Well, and we talked about earlier segments, and I actually changed my segment, faith, family, and freedom. It was family, firearms, and facts or something, but I changed it because I believe that your faith comes first, your family comes second, and your freedom comes third. And these are 3 things that I die for. And when we get back onto your regular scheduled news where we're not having breaking news going on, we'll get to our segments, won't we?
Yeah, maybe someday.
Till then, we're right here. Going on 2 hours, 27 minutes, and 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to know right now what is going on with the IDF. Are they part of this? Is it a joint? You know.
Well, didn't Trevor send us earlier that the IDF was obviously they won't have transponders on, so we won't be able to see them. Where was it? I don't remember, but it said something about the IDF. I know that. The Israeli War Room posted at Israel War Room an hourglass and the Iranian flag. So, you know.
Oh, we've got a friend from the UK, and I say friend. I don't know who Susan C is, but throw that up there, Ronnie. I'm not on the right stream to do
from
that.
The UK. Wow. Thank you so much for being here. Suzanne1202 on YouTube. Wow. Wow. Man, that just gave me goosebumps. Thank you so much for being here. Come on, Spunk.
Now, see, I knew that would be a cool thing for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. That straight gave me goosebumps. I really appreciate that. Oh, darn it. Steve, looking on Agenda Free, just had the pizza tracker, but it's gone away. We'll jump back to that if he brings it back up. 1202 before you. Could be 1701. We were just talking about Star Trek, 1701, the Enterprise D, or the Enterprise, My apologies, but wow, that's great. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Iran extended the airspace closure a little bit longer. I believe so. That one plane is still putting along, 376 miles an hour, but it's still not there. I don't get it. It's not that big a space, but hey, like I said earlier, we are 2 hours, 29 minutes, 30 seconds into this, and I would almost say this is a record, only second behind our very first one, our very first, before we were even red, white, and true. Wow, we're praying for freedom and peace. Absolutely.
So, Susan, what do you have? You just interested in the topic? Do you have any ties to Iran? Any things like that? You don't have to tell us in depth of anything, but what brought you to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie tonight?
It probably wasn't this spunk balls here. He won't leave me alone. Come on. I don't know why he wants to be all lovey-dovey.
Well, let's go ahead and read the Shah of Iran's son, Reza Pahlavi, said, "To all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls." So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act toward its neighbors and the world after the fall of the regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Boy, there's a good remark right there off of the beginning. Right. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The state of Israel will be recognized immediately. Man, boy, that's music to the ears right there.
Right.
We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policy making will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision, it is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership. So there you have it. That is Reza Pahlavi, who is the son of the Shah of Iran, which would also mean that he would be the heir apparent in a monarchy. So he is not talking about a monarchy there. He's talking about democracy. Exactly. And to me, that says a lot when, I mean, he would be right in line to slide back in. And I really, let's pray for Reza. Father God in heaven, I come to you just now and I lift this man up to you. I don't know tons about him. I don't know if he knows Jesus as his Lord and Savior, Father, but you use men and women in different positions and in leadership. I pray that the things that he has said here tonight, as I just read, that they would be accurate. And I know that he doesn't have a say in all of that. A lot of it is rhetoric, and hopefully that rhetoric can become policy. Father, but first things first, the Islamic Republic has to go. So keep Mr. Pahlavi safe. We pray for the overthrow of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And we lift these things up to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Interesting comments coming from.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
We thank
that's what I was going.
Being here. Well, yeah, we thank you so much for being here. He asked why you're here. You said in the UK, you've met many people from Iran. They're beautiful, peaceful, and kind. Absolutely. All the videos I've seen, are they're just fighting for their life. They're not fighting for anything else. And this comment right here, a lot of live streams are fake, and you're trying to keep track. Stick with us. Oh my goodness, I just got goosebumps again. Wow. I am speechless. My goodness. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to continue to cover this as much as we can. I do have a news that we have not talked about yet. Kristi Noem impeachment moves forward. Full list of sponsors. They want to get rid of Kristi Noem. Representative Robin Kelly, an Illinois Democrat, introduced several articles of impeachment against Noem after a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent fatally shot Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old woman in Minneapolis last week. The shooting has drawn increased scrutiny to the tactics used by ICE. In total, at least 50 House Democrats have signed on to the articles, according to a list released by Kelly's office. The list was first reported by Axios. Her office told the outlet that more Democrats may sign on later. Again, we will keep tracking that because something else. Hey, here's a news story for Miss Beth. If 3i Atlas wasn't enough excitement, our solar system has recently welcomed a new comet visitor. However, like 3i Atlas, it hasn't arrived here from an interstellar home, but from a thick bubble of gas and icy pieces that envelops our solar system. Scientists have named it C/25R3 Pan Stars, swinging around 215 million miles away from Earth, somewhere between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. The icy visitor is being revered with the honorary title, the Great Comet of the Year, for its potential to become the brightest comet of the year. Scientists do not know for how long the comet will spend wandering our solar system, but it's at least set to stay here until May. Little bit of space news.
I saw this story earlier, but I didn't read. But Renee Good's former father-in-law doesn't blame the ICE agent for the shooting. Renee Good's former father-in-law, Timmy Macklin, suggested on Tuesday that she made poor decisions leading up to her fatal shooting. ICE agent Jonathan Ross shot Good on the 7th after she abruptly accelerated her vehicle, although Macklin said on CNN's Eric Burnett out front that he was not blaming anybody for the incident. He indicated that her lack of adherence to God played a role. Wow. Renee was an amazing person, full of life, full of joy, real, gentle, a good mother. I just think we make bad choices, and that's the problem. There's so much chaos in the whole world today, Macklin said. And that's why the Bible says, if my people would humble ourselves and seek his face and pray and turn from their wicked ways, God will hear from heaven and forgive our sins and heal our lands. 2 Chronicles 7:14, I believe, is exactly what the scripture is. He didn't list that, but he quoted it right there very well. And that's what we need to do. We need to turn to God and walk in the Spirit of God and let him lead us and guide us. Man, what a quote. I think there's some bad
somewhere before. I've heard that somewhere before. Could it have been in church?
Well, could it have been if a sermon titled "If My People"?
You know what? I believe I heard that. This is Susan from the UK. God bless them both. A sad price to pay for them both. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to toss this over to you. I'm going to change my background screen. Hang on one.
I think there are some bad choices, and the word says, for the wrath of God will come upon the children of disobedience. And I don't blame ICE, he said. I don't blame Rebecca. Good. I don't blame Renee. I just wish that, if we're walking in the Spirit of God, I don't think she would have been there. And that's the way I look at it. Ross was trying to film Renee Good's license plate number as her car impeded the roadway. Interesting take. We may pull that video and let you hear that in his voice.
That would be great.
At some point in time. Let me copy that to where I can save it. Because
real
we
quick,
will have to turn around and on you.
Well, right now we're at 241, or excuse me, 2 hours, 42 minutes, 2 seconds, 277 views, and 12 likes. Come on, people, give us a like, give us a heart, please.
You have a heart, or you need a heart?
We need a heart. Need a heart. He was doing his own trauma, doing his lawful job. Absolutely, absolutely. We showed that on Monday. We showed that last week. Several angle. Was it last week? My goodness, what day is it?
Yeah, it was last week.
Last week we showed different angles, everything, reactions. Yeah, we need to pull that up. Don't be sorry for a long stream. We're in our element. We are tickled pink right now. We're just waiting. We're biding our time, and
yes, we are. And there was an announcement that came out. President Trump will meet with Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado at the White House tomorrow at noon. So it's kind of interesting because we said earlier that we've moved on from Venezuela, and I jokingly said it that way. You don't like go in and pull a dictator out of his country and then everything just goes away. But it's good to see that. I'm curious as how that's going to work, because technically right now all we have done is gone in and arrested Maduro and brought him to the United States. So technically the former vice president is now the president of Venezuela, but that's as illegitimate, Ronnie, as you can get, because Maduro was an illegitimate leader, and she wasn't even. She was just appointed by an illegitimate leader.
Right.
So that's who is officially the president of Venezuela right now. And it's interesting to talk Venezuela and Iran because they're allies, and yeah. So see how that goes tomorrow. And let me save this before, I'm old and I'll forget.
Steve is doing the pizza tracker again real quick.
On traffic to try to get a sense of whether there's lots of people.
This is courtesy of Agenda Free TV. As you can see, there's
and the idea is if lots of people are ordering pizza and few people are at the restaurant, then that could suggest lots of people are working extra at the Pentagon. That's Penn Pizza Report.
It says closest Papa John's ordered spike. That's crazy. It's funny how that tracks. Pizza orders to the Pentagon. That's crazy how that tracks. We talked about Greenland earlier and how kind of crazy that is. Germany leads military buildup in Greenland in response to Trump. Germany will take the lead of European nations, sending military personnel to Greenland after Denmark said it's meeting with top U.S. officials intent on controlling the world's biggest island, revealed that a fundamental disagreement remains. The discussion to dispatch reinforcements to the Arctic territory as early as this week highlights the urgency with which European nations seek to respond to U.S. threats over Greenland. Meeting of foreign ministers from Denmark and Greenland with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington failed to dispel the specter of a U.S. takeover. On Thursday, Germany's exploration mission of 13 soldiers will arrive in Nuuk as European nations begin to work out how to ensure security in the region. Their task will be to explore the framework. 13 soldiers.
I just figured it out. That's all media induced.
Yeah, 13 soldiers.
Oh my god. That is a media story, not a news story. And we'll just move right along. We don't want to be even in the same universe
ballpark
as those kind of media stories. 13.
15 soldiers scheduled to arrive. Can you imagine?
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Susan mentioned Tusi TV. We've been introduced to them recently and used them. Yes, you did. And again, he mentioned earlier that he was in a studio different than he normally is for security purposes. He apparently had, I mean, I would just be speculating, but he mentioned that, for fear for his life. So,
he is
yeah,
no
we got it
longer
pretty
live
easy
right now.
We've got it pretty easy, Ronnie. We don't worry that somebody's going to break in the house and shoot it up because we're a conservative Christian conservative.
That'd be the last day they see on this earth. That would not be a good idea, but you're right. He's no longer live. So he only
which is
did
surprising.
an hour live stream. Yeah, he only did an hour live stream. It was streamed 40 minutes ago. I pray for his safety.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, an Iranian living in Great Britain. But and the thing about him, he covers all kinds of it. He's not just on because he's an Iranian. He covers all news, and proud. I don't know about you, but it excites
I don't know when
me.
this was, but Pete Hegseth here. Go ahead.
Oh no!
Unless you want to hear from Pete.
Let's hear from Pete.
Go ahead. It's all you.
No, let's listen to Pete.
Mexican national medal that we're announcing today. And what's cool about this medal, it was actually first given out in 1918. So we're reviving an old medal that existed, was given to men and women who defended the southern border. We found out about it. We used the exact same foundry with the exact same imagery, same color, same medal, same everything. So our men and women will be wearing that very same medal as Americans 100 years before who were asked to defend the sovereignty of our country. President Trump was elected to do that. You have done that, Mr. President. We're proud of this mission. We're proud to defend the American people. And pinning these medals on is an example of how important it is to us. So thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, I want to echo your thanks and gratitude for the joint force. I also want to highlight General Guillot.
I believe that's General Raising Cane, isn't it?
I think it is.
Leaders at every level that came together, not just in our joint force, but in the interagency. And I want to specifically highlight our Border Patrol teammates and our Office of Air and Marine teammates who, when I went down to the southern border and visited, were right there next to the joint force. I also want to thank not just these 13 individuals, but the joint force that was also down there and your families who poured in to make this deployment possible on the southern border. And of course, this time of the year, I'm always thinking about our currently deployed forces who are out there around the world doing our nation's business. And of course, our fallen and their families who show us what courage and tenacity really are as they move forward after the loss of a service member. So thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Well, it said when I pulled up breaking news live, Delta massing near Iran's border. It appears they're just talking about some awards and medals. A medal that hasn't been 200 years or 100 years, something like that. That was pretty neat.
I like the way Pete is in tune with how history works with the modern military.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. Trevor sent a message here. Another person shot by ICE, this time in the leg. Story developing a courtesy of Agenda Free TV. It was during an arrest in Minneapolis. They reportedly swung a shovel. See, thank you, Tampon Tim.
Right.
And
courtesy Agenda Free will go back. Pepperball, I hope. Me too. But unfortunately, I don't think so. Here's agenda for you. Let's see if he covers that. Thank you, Steve Lookner. Apparently, he's talking about Iranian airspace. That other.
Again, Karen Scullin with Fox 9 says a person was shot by ICE in the leg in northern Minneapolis. Gonna see if I can find anything else about. Let's go over to the White House shot for a second. Gonna see if I can find anything more updates on Iran. Not hearing much at the moment, but let me look around for a second, see what I can find you. Uh-oh, what is this? Oh no, that's nothing.
Post on Facebook, I like my government like I like my tea with a lot of ice.
I'm going to step away for a minute. I think the dogs have decided they've been good long enough. So you got the
now they need to
the
go
helm.
Any kinds
You've got the helm
of updates here about
I will
the
take
situation
control
with Iran.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how much about this, but Brown County in Indiana has already declared a 2-hour delay next Tuesday so that kids can stay up later to watch the IU game. Can Bartholomew County do the same?
Listen to this from the New York Times. So, President Trump said today, he said that he had been told the killing had stopped in Iran. The New York Times says in Qatar, U.S. military began evacuating an unspecified number of non-essential personnel from Al Udeid Air Base. But after Trump's remarks today, the Pentagon was ready to have troops return to the base, said a U.S. military official who described the president's comments as an off-ramp.
Real quick, some great comments from our new friend overseas in the UK. Abraham Lincoln is a bit away, so I don't think it's happening tonight. Yeah, it's coming from the South China Seas. Your comment, Tuesday said Abraham Lincoln due tomorrow, maybe 4 days back. It's in South China, so it'll take it a little bit. I do as well wish with you that Europe would find a moral backbone. And right here, how do you hype a YouTube? You know what? I wish I knew, because then I would hype Red, White, and True and get us a whole lot more views, and that would be just great, because I love doing this. And I will be here as long as necessary.
The air pace in
Back to Steve Lookner. Still back to not much going on. You just hear him typing. Real quick, for those of you who are just joining us or have just joined us, we are covering Iran. The airspace is cleared. Iranian airspace closure, they extended it for another hour, 27 minutes, 54 seconds. It's been close to 5 hours or so. I may be wrong. We've been live for almost 3 hours. That's great. We thank you for everybody being here. Red, White, and True, we started 11/5/2024. We've been around for a little over a year. We followed or the election just kind of on a whim. Where are you guys based? Great question. We are from Columbus, Indiana. I am Ronnie, my dad, Pastor Ed. We started this 11/5/2024. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary. We've gone from doing this once a week to 3 times a week. Special editions. We started with the Venezuelan Maduro, Texas or Midwest, Columbus, Indiana. Now, if you search up Columbus, Indiana, you're going to come up with Columbus, Ohio. I believe there's another state with Columbus in it. But we are Columbus, Indiana, just about an hour south of Indianapolis, the capital of Indiana. I, for instance, have been here my entire life. I have not gone anywhere. We started this on a whim and love every minute of it. And we thank you, each and every one of you who listen, who send us news stories, who send us videos. We love it. Thank you very much. Not Texas. I don't have that Texas accent. If you're you're in the UK, so you don't catch the accents, but about an hour south of us, then you start picking up an accent.
No info yet on if anything was actually shot. Other reports said the person was shot in the leg. Well, Fox 9 reported the person was shot in the leg.
We very much appreciate that. Look back at our catalog, and we can definitely tell you're from the UK by the way you spelled catalog. We would not spell it that way. Daytona 500, I don't believe so. I do know the Indianapolis 500. Daytona is in Florida. We're in Indiana. So yeah, Indianapolis, the Indianapolis 500, that's a major thing. We held the Super Bowl a few years ago. If you are a marching band fan, every single year, Drum Corps International Finals is in Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium, beautiful place.
Is believed to be Venezuelan. He was shot, but is okay, stable, and is now in custody.
Wow. The suspect shot was Venezuelan, is okay, and is in custody. He FA'd and FO'd. Iran time 5:35. I don't know. I am starting to not.
You know, Faytuck's News pointed out that the New York Times also said in their new report that long-range bombers in the U.S. had been put on alert to conduct secondary strikes if needed, but that appeared to have been paused as of this afternoon. I know that we've shown it a bunch of times, but I do want to play it again. President Trump made remarks today at the Oval Office this afternoon saying that he had heard that the killing had stopped.
We had showed this earlier as well. The video of President Trump saying that the killing has stopped. It sparked a little bit of a controversy. I will play it for you now, 38 seconds.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopped, and it's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or an execution or executions. So I've been told that a good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset, but that's just gotten to me, some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution.
He said that, and a lot of people are upset, saying, "You promised to come help. Where are you? Like our banner down here. Will the president do the right thing?" One thing. Excuse me for my stupid dog. One thing that we've said for a while, or at least I have, is trust the plan. Donald Trump plays chess. He's very good at it. The Venezuelan strike came as a surprise. All this buildup, I don't feel in my gut that we're going to attack tonight. It may just come out of the blue and bam. Question here: do you know what was used to strike and deployed from where when they hit the nuclear plants? I don't recall. B2s, I believe.
I'm pretty sure.
Minnesota that they take off from. Yeah. It's been a while since we've done that. He doesn't play with soldiers; he plays with commerce. Yes, he's already enacted tariffs on Iran and anybody who does business with them. That's basically his first kick in the junk. And then they continue to FA, and it ups the ante until they finally eventually FO. I mean, we keep saying that, but it's totally how it works. It's crazy.
Well, Ronnie, I didn't want to.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I didn't want to go off air, but maybe we'll close out here in just a little bit and kind of be on standby, knowing that we may have to come back at any time.
Yeah, we are 3 hours and 4 minutes into this. We're just kind of standby. Iranian airspace closure ends in 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 31 seconds. We surely appreciate you. We will not be live tomorrow unless something happens that requires us to go live. We will, what did we say, Saturday, because we have men's group on Friday. So Saturday for sure. And then back Monday and Wednesday of next week. Love the freedom. Wow. Ma'am, you just gave me goosebumps 3 times in a row. You have no idea. Please come back. We surely appreciate you. Wow. Iran time 5:39:59. Your space is completely clear. We will continue to monitor.
We will, and if nothing goes on, which boy, if nothing goes on, this is like one of the biggest swerves in the history of warfare. We'll be back Saturday. And
yes.
See, I'm a little different than you. I have a feeling that something's still going down tonight. I know.
We wouldn't be able to see it, on the flight tracker because they would definitely kill their transponders. And like I said, Donald Trump plays chess. He's 15 steps ahead of the rest of us. So yeah, I'm saying no, you're saying yes. It's 50-50 either way.
Well, here's the thing. This isn't going to be, in my estimation, what happened when they went after the nuclear sites. This isn't going to just be we go bomb something and it's over. Yeah, I mean, when we saw, it would have been a good time for the people to have taken to the streets when we did that back in, I think, July, and that didn't happen. So this is probably going to be an ongoing operation for a period of time. They're not going in, I don't believe, and grabbing the Ayatollah and saying this is over. I think that
question, maybe 5 a.m. their visibility at the time. Iranian time is 5:41. So yes, sun will be coming up there soon, if not already. Message from Trevor, multiple reports about emergency security council meeting confirming. Cindy Williams asks, I've been out of the loop the last 2 days. Has Donald J. Trump ordered this or what is going on? Well, we've been live for 3 hours and 6 minutes, but let's recap. Let's do that.
There you go.
Before before we shut down here. So, we've been tracking possibly the invasion of Iran. Oh my goodness. All right, I got to change that. Sorry about that. I showed earlier the shooting of the officer in the patrol car, and I did not know where it came from. If you were here earlier, it was a Greenville, South Carolina police officer who was ambushed in his police car. After the suspect pulled up beside him, opened fire and attack, and ended up with the gunman dead. I promised more information, and I will have more if we come back later. But right now, we are tracking to see what's going on in Iran. It's possible that Donald Trump is going to keep on his promise to help the people of Iran, the protesters. Basically, right now, all air traffic in Iran has been canceled. There is no more planes in the air, at least none that we can see at the moment. I'm pulling up my flight tracker here for you to see. Just like with the invasion of Venezuela when they took Maduro, the flight pattern for commercial flights, passenger lines disappeared. Oh my goodness, a plane just popped up. Let's look at this guy. It's an Airbus. It's a passenger plane, 26,000 feet. It looks like it just took off, tracked by satellite. So we will keep an eye on this. I don't know, with the message of the Security Council, the U.S. is requesting an emergency Security Council meeting right now. That gave me goosebumps as well. That tells me that something's going on or will go on, and we will be back if that goes down, correct?
That's correct. We would be more than willing to stay. We had planned to be here all night, but we get to a point where I feel like we're doing a disservice to the people that are here, hoping that something goes on. So I think the right call is to take a break, come back if necessary. If not, we will be back Saturday, probably 8 p.m. Saturday. Usually it's 7, but probably 8 p.m. And I just get a feeling we'll be back later tonight.
I have the feeling as well. And then there's 2 planes in Iranian airspace. They do have an hour, 14 minutes, 33 seconds to get the crap out of there, or they're going to probably come face to face.
Yeah.
Well, Susan, thank you so much. Visit again. Please come back. Cindy, we appreciate you. We have had 3 hours and 10 minutes of fun, bouncing back and forth, a little bit of BSing, showing some videos, having a good time, and I've had a blast. So thank you, everyone, every single one of you.
All right.
Well, I think you're too polite to stop. We love you already. Thank you so much.
How about as we sign off, let's have a little fun right before we go.
Hey there, yeah, I'm talking to you. Name's Clyde. I'm a Cardinal, obviously, but here's the thing. I am absolutely hooked on Ed and Ronnie's live streams. Can't help it. Every Tuesday, I plop down in this nest, seeds on standby, and tune in. They bring the truth like a tailwind.
If people really want to know what's going on, listen to Ed and Ronnie Tuesdays on Red, White, and True, streaming on Facebook.
And we urge Democrat senators to vote to reopen the government and to do the right thing.
All right. So we'll see you guys. I'm thinking later tonight, Saturday night at the latest. And until we see you then, go out and do the right thing.
From the heart of America to the heart of DC, everyone likes Ed and Ronnie.